Hi, my name's Johnny Lawrence, your performance coach, and welcome to Life Talk. Life Talk is a self-development show where every episode I'll be speaking to someone who's knowledgeable and passionate about a certain topic in hope to help you with your self-development. So let's get to it. How you doing, Ross?
I'm all good, Johnny. I'm all good. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm really good, thank you. Ross is one of the founding members of Man Down, which is a men's health charity here in Cornwall, helping men who are in crisis. And also, it's just starting up your coaching service, Clear Path Coaching. That's right, isn't it?
That's right, Johnny. Yeah.
Right, how's that going? I've noticed you've been got an Instagram now.
Yeah, that's it. Got an Instagram page. We've gone live. We were sort of planning on launching everything in the new year, but I just felt now is quite a good time to reach out to people and see if I can lend a hand and helping them moving forward. Yeah.
Well, mate, you've already helped me. The other day, I was on week 2 of not doing something that I said I was going to do, and one of my methods of distracting myself from doing this was sitting on Instagram. And then I flicked down, and there you are talking about procrastination, which made me feel like you were watching me a little bit, but it was very, very helpful. So it sort of inspired me really to get in contact with you again and just talk about procrastination. I mean, What is procrastination for people that might not know?
So procrastination or procrastinating, in a nutshell, is the action of delaying or postponing something. So if you have been planning to start exercising again or wanting to read a book or do an online course, and you've been putting it off, and finding other distractions, then you're procrastinating.
So what's your personal experience with procrastination? Because that was one of the things that really struck me when you were speaking on Instagram. You were talking about your experience with procrastination.
Yeah, I mean, my experience with it has been starting up exercise again in the past when I was, drinking a lot and I wasn't really sort of in a very good place mentally or physically, really. And I would always put off exercising. I would always make excuses. Also with stopping drinking, that was another one. That was a big procrastinating sort of area of my life, and it was just added little bits and pieces onto it as well. Planning to do stuff with my kids, but not doing it because I was hungover or because I didn't really sort of find the time. And online courses and reading books. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, but I never really sort of had the energy to follow it up and to carry on. But
I mean, that right there is exactly why I contacted you, because this show itself is about self-development, and everything you just mentioned there is you trying to better yourself in some way, but not letting yourself do it.
No, exactly.
So it's like that sort of thing that stands in the way between yourself and your self-care, So you needing to give up alcohol for whatever reason was something that you felt was important and wasn't able to do it. You at the time, you wanting to exercise, you wanting to furtherly educate yourself and stepped in a way. And I suspect that anyone that says that they haven't experienced that is probably not being completely honest with themselves.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And that you just hit the nail on the head there, being honest with themselves. It takes a huge amount of sort of self accountability, doesn't it, to own up to procrastinating, because it really, over time, it really dents your pride and strips away your confidence, because subconsciously. Definitely did for me.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my next question, is like, why is sort of combating procrastination such an important thing? It sounds like you're about to touch on that. So, but what?
I mean, for that reason, we feel guilty for not being productive, and it dents the pride for me. It dented my pride. It stripped away my confidence. A little bit of procrastinating is normal. That's just life, isn't it? But when it becomes sort of chronic, like it was for me, it causes problems and can add to your anxiety and your stress levels. So Go on, mate. Sorry.
You might say you were gonna do something. So say you might, I don't know, back when you stopped drinking, you might have said, next weekend, that's it, I'm not doing it. And then you would do it. And then by the end of the weekend, you were feeling really bad because you'd let yourself down in some way by your, by your standards. Is that what sort of?
Exactly. Yeah. Hit the nail on the head. And also sort of wasting away, like the Sundays, family day.
Yeah.
I'd be hungover, I'd be in bed, and my family would be going out without me, and it would, I'd sort of put the front on, consciously, I'm okay, but really, obviously, subconsciously, it's all adding to those problems, and all adding to the stress and the low self-esteem, and I just needed to admit to myself, really, that I was procrastinating. And I only really knew what the word meant about a month ago. I'd been doing it for 20 years. I was like, what's that word? That sounds really cool.
So we can call you, we can add professional procrastinator to your list of accomplishments.
My resume.
Yeah. I mean, I always say it to you every time we see each other. I always say how much respect I've got for you and your honesty towards alcohol and everything else. I mean, it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of, but most people wouldn't talk about it. It's just not something that we do in society, is it? And
no,
and you're sort of like, procrastination as in general, like the conversation is such a big thing because it's for something that it can be seen as so insignificant. It makes an enormous difference. Look at the things that you just spoke about just then. They're massive, absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So what sort of things have you implemented to sort of get through times like that? Like, what was the sort of the point where you thought to yourself, right, I need to make these changes, I need to do them?
So I've always had the energy to do it, but just the wrong sort of energy. It was a lot of sort of negative energy sort of swirling around, and that would sort of almost like take over, really. And I just put in place the most important thing is being honest. If I feel that I'm procrastinating about, especially about exercise at the minute, especially sort of like Monday mornings, I've been trying to go for a run every Monday morning just to kickstart my, my week. I try and train between 3 and 4 times a week anyway. And it's, you get up in the morning and you're like, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to go tomorrow. And as soon as I start to do that, I'm just like, I'm like, another head here. I'm like, no, you've just got to get up, get your trainers on, get out the door. You're going to enjoy it, move. So that's what I do. But I try and keep like to-do lists. I try and keep a schedule. For someone that's got ADHD, a schedule is like a bit, but
quite big as well, can't it?
adding, big scroll. But like, try no distractions. This lovely little device that we're on today is just the root of all evil sometimes for me. Amazing that we can do these sort of things, but at the same time, it's like you said, flicking through Instagram,
Well,
and it's just
that day anyway, so that's all right. You sorted me out.
Like you said, I've got cameras in your house now. When I go around,
I'm gonna start looking for them. I'll tell you what.
But like having deadlines, like putting deadlines in, like timescales. So like right, I've got to do it before Thursday or Wednesday or whatever it is, and that helps me.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that techniques that I use for myself is I like to get my cardio work done out of the way. I don't hugely enjoy it. No. I do it on a cross trainer. It's 45 minutes. It can be a bit boring.
Yeah.
How many podcasts you listen to? After time, you're in your garage, freezing cold on this cross trainer. So I'm not that inspired. I get up at 6 o'clock. That's when I can do it with the school run and all them things. Yeah. And one of the ways I do it is my alarm goes off and I tell myself I've just got to sit up. And when I sit up, I look over at my gym kit and I pick it up and I go downstairs.
Yeah.
Then I got to put the gym kit on. I break it into small goals. If I think, oh gosh, I got to go and do my cross trainer now, I'm getting back in bed again. It's like it's them small goals. It's them like, okay, all you got to do is get up. All you got to do is put your shoes on. All you got to do is this. And then before you know it, I'm doing it. And then I'm 5 minutes in, then I'm 15 minutes in, then I've only got half an hour left and it's done. But if I take on the goal, oh, I've got to get up 6 o'clock in the morning and do the cross. No one really likes that, surely not.
No, that's it.
know? And then the other thing is if I really need to dig deep, I like to look for the why. Why am I doing it? What is the reason I'm doing it? You know,
exactly.
And I think you probably got some really strong reasons. Like you say, you were missing out on your Sundays with your children. With your exercise. What's your why with the exercise? You doing a calendar shoot or something?
How do you know?
Looking forward to it. Not the only one who's got cameras, mate.
Yeah. No one wants to see a calendar of me.
No, well, I said
I'm not too sure what calendar it might be. No, I've gone from like needing to exercise and needing to, get that sort of negative energy out to just thinking, I really enjoy going for a run. The buzz I get from a run is great. And the buzz I get from training is good. And I try not to let my sort of ego take over too much and, try and be... and just try not to be too, like, body conscious. Because, like, obviously you're the perfect one to speak about this. Genetics, you can't change genetics. No. I've trained hard. I've eaten loads. I've been on the protein. I've been on the creatine. And I never really got any bigger than what I was because my metabolism, it's just, I just burn. So I want to try and be as fit as I can, cardio wise.
Yeah.
And just enjoy the training, not put too much pressure on myself. Just,
you really are right though. That pressure, that will be the breaker really. That pressure, that pressure to do something, that fear of failure, all them sort of things that it's just not worth it, is it?
No.
When you can do something for yourself, like you just said, I exercise now because I know I enjoy it and I'll feel better.
Yeah.
That's a great exercise, And, there's been many sessions in my life where I've been dreading it because I've got to go and lift some heavy weight for no reason at all.
No, that's it.
Just so I can't walk for the next 3 days. So
I know.
It's just getting that balance, isn't it?
It is. And, obviously, not getting any younger these days, So it's like, I just want to try and, learn from my mistakes. And when you are younger, and especially, being a guy, there's a lot of like social sort of, stigma around like being big and strong and, muscly. And it's like, to actually sort of step away from that, like, environment and say, actually, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it. It's just a little bit more individual, isn't it? It's takes a bit more bottle and a bit more determination.
I bet there's a sense of freedom that comes with that too,
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've always long felt the pressure of having been a health and fitness coach for 15 years, you do feel the pressure of having to look a certain way.
Yeah.
I used to dread going to the kids' swimming parties and I'd be like, you're going to look like The Rock. And I look like A-Rock. So it's just like, no, it's not good, So that pressure can be a real thing. Yeah. But mate, I'm so grateful for your time today. I always love
it. No worries, man.
And I appreciate that. Is there any last bit of advice that you would give any one man or woman about how to avoid procrastination?
Just be honest with yourself, and just like you said, just ask yourself why you're not doing these things and why you should be doing these things. And, hopefully the answers will give you enough of a sort of boost and a bit more of a bit more confidence to sort of see it through really. But it's like I said, if
I was to piggyback off that as well, I would say after further investigation, you might even find that you're putting this pressure on yourself to do something that actually you don't need or want to do, and
actually absolutely
something else,
Yeah.
But mate, as always, absolute pleasure catching up. Really enjoy our conversations, and I'm going to come on one of them dog walks with you. I think not
100%,
but profound. I can sit and learn a lot from you. But yeah, as always, mate, do you want to just quickly plug your Instagram, your Clear Path?
Yeah, so head over to Clear Path Coaching if you want to give me a follow and a like on Instagram and Facebook. It'd be much appreciated.
Great. Mate, it's been great talking to you, and I look forward to catching up.
Thanks, Johnny. Always a pleasure, mate.
Take care, mate.
Take it easy.